Hello planty people, I am starting this introduction in my dressing gown. It's going to be a fun day today. I just got some new shelves for my plant space, so I'm going to bring you along on the adventure of changing the plant space over. And I better go feed the cats because they're making a lot of noise in the background. Hold on, let's say good morning to the kitties, shall we? Hi Bola and Jinx. Alright, so today we are redoing this space with more of those sort of shelves in the corner there. Those ones, the black ones, which will be replacing this space so I have more room for plants. So join me and I'll go get out of my jammies and feed the cats. So I thought, as well as doing this little video about doing my space and changing the shelves over, like I mentioned before, I thought I'd make it into a little mini houseplant tour and actually get a couple of things looked at in just this area. So more a houseplant section tour, if that makes sense. So I will go a little bit through this shelf here and show you. My light's terrible because the window's right behind me. Hold on, I'll get into it. So I'll show you a little bit of the shelf here behind me, this black one, and then I'll show you a little bit about what's going to be taken off the shelf here as well. The light. There we go. So this one here, I'm going to show you a little bit of what's over here and what's going to be moved around, and then I'll show you at the end where everything's going to go for now. So it's going to be kind of a combo houseplant tour and combo rework my space tour video. Yeah. It's going to be a bit of a mashup, but it should be fun. And I figured if I was getting into this today, why not bring you along for the journey? All right, so let's get into it. Murphy, stop bumping the camera. I'm very sorry for the wobbly nature of that last little bit. I'm trying to get this expensive little electronic tripod attachment that I bought that's supposed to track you to work, and every time I seem to want to use it, it's just not liking the light that I'm using or something, and so that's why that little bit was a bit jumpy and weird. So I'm very sorry about that. So we're back on the handheld, and I thought I'd show you around what's in this shelf here, which is the shelf that is technically like a hallway shelf or like an entryway shelf that's like a coat rack and stuff. So I might actually use it for its intended function and put it in my hallway. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't really decided yet. But that's the shelf that's going to be moved out of there today, and then it is going to be replaced with an identical one of these, which is a Kmart shelf technically, but there are a lot of brands that do this assemble it yourself, pick your own dimensions sort of shelving. So I will kind of talk a little bit about that a little bit more as I'm putting it up. But so I'm going to have two shelves that look identical side by side here, and it should look really slick and lovely, and it's going to let a lot of light in. Any shelf I've noticed, any shelf that's got a solid panel really blocks the light in here because the light comes in at kind of an angle like this. It doesn't come directly in, so I've got to really make sure I'm taking advantage of every single kind of millimeter of light. So I don't want anything blocking anywhere, and so I'm switching everything to wire shelving so that it blocks less light. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit. Here we go. So over on this shelf here, I have kind of a mixed bag because I'm not very organized at the moment. I do prefer to keep kind of some things in the same spot, but at the moment that's just not happening because my space is not quite where I want it or organized. But everyone over here is doing really well. This is my Maranta. I'm going to try and put some names on screen, but this is not a proper houseplant tour, so I will not be doing every single name of every plant because that'll be happening in my formal houseplant tour that I will do once this is all set up, and I will do probably next week, hopefully, if I get time. So I've got a few things in here that are looking really good, Everyone's looking happy. Got some new leaves on this Hoya up here, which is great because it had this big long tendril for ages, and I just kind of was like, are you ever going to do anything? Heart leaf's looking beautiful. Took a few cuttings off that one, but it means that it's gotten a bit bushier across the top of the pot, which I'm not mad about because it means it'll grow more tendrils longer down. Probably need to chop and prop this one because she's just one long kind of single vine, but it's happy, so I'm leaving it. I've got some cute new growth on this Hoya up here, which I just want to show you because it's just adorable and I'm just fanning over it so hard at the moment. Sorry, it's hard for me to hold the camera up that high. But isn't that just so cute? Hold on, please focus. It's not going to focus, is it? It's too small. But yes, so they're adorable. So a lot of these hanging plants here are going to stop hanging. And so they're going to go onto the top shelf of the shelves. Including this neon Notopothos, which is actually a mix pot. So I've got your regular Devil's Ivy, golden up here as well. Sorry, my camera angle's gone wrong. And so I'm hoping one day it will trail down as kind of a mix of the two. But at the moment, the only long one is the neon here. I've got a mixed pink princess pot here that does not give me much pink at all. Typical pink princess. Marble Queen. Now this is one that I originally thought might have been a mandula because of the original leaves were quite frilly and round, but it turns out she is just a normal Marble Queen, but she's beautiful nonetheless. Like, they're such pretty plants. Got a strawberry begonia that's not a begonia. They just get called a begonia, but they're not. It's really happy and adorable in a weird little face pot. And then I've got this little cactusy dude. So here is one of my pride and joy plants. This is my dark form Tradescantia zebrina. It is an absolute beauty. Now, I absolutely love it. It's just, isn't it gorgeous? Look at that color. It does not come up very well on the camera, but it is amazingly lush dark purple, and the camera just does not capture it very well at all. It does from a distance, sort of. Velvet plant, which needs a water. She's a bit so, like, sad. Now the watermelon peperomia in here is not getting enough light, as you can tell, because it's stretching. So it'll be happy to get up on the other shelves that I'm putting in and get some better light. Red watermelon peperomia next door to it. Then on here, we've got Addisoni monstera. We've got my beautiful mature form silver sword philodendron. Addisoni something. My Syngonium albo, Syngonium fantasy, whatever you want to call it. It just popped a new leaf, finally. It has had this leaf kind of perched on the edge of glory for days and days and days. And it finally popped out. Got a pink princess here that actually does have some pink. So I'm hoping she keeps doing that. So I want to keep her right up against the window so she just keeps getting as much light as possible. You can see she's got some beautiful streaks up her stem here. So hoping she keeps giving me some of this sectoral beauty. Next to her is another pink princess that doesn't do anything interesting. There's actually two stems in this pot, if I can find the other one. This here is a propagation that I had for a really long time that I just recently chopped the head off because it used to have stunning variegation and then it really just didn't give anything ever again. So I've cut it back to hopefully encourage some more pink and hoping that stump doesn't die. Syngonium confetti with its cute little splotches. That's a newer one, so that probably wasn't in my last houseplant tour video, or if it was only just. Same with the fantasy. Then we have, your good old Rhapsodophora tetrasperma, which this one's getting really long, which is lovely. Eventually, I need to attach it to something better to climb on, but I want to find some nice branches. So I'm gonna contact my parents because they live on a large property. So I'm like, just gonna be like, Mom, can you save me some cute branches or chop me some planks, like the front of a log? So like you get the log and then like the front of it, so it's a nice slither, so it'll fit in my pots beautifully, but the plant will grow up it. And then in the corner here, I just have to show you my beautiful tie because it's just gorgeous. My beautiful tie. I repot that recently and the root system was just beautiful. So hopefully it gives me a new leaf soon. It's got like a little bud kind of forming, but that little bud's been forming since before I got it as a cutting. So hopefully that little bud becomes something at some point. And next door is my little dubia. Now this dubia, because it's on such a tall plank, it's going to have a special spot when I move everything around, but we'll figure that out. And then on this shelf is a few of the other kind of more rare and some of my other favorites that are still getting along. The organization, though, here at the moment is just non-existent. Like, the bottom shelves are mostly calatheas, except there's a syngonium and a monstera hiding in there. So I want to have eventually just all the calatheas onto one shelf or two shelves or maybe three shelves. I have a few calatheas. I really like them. And then I want to start getting everybody in kind of, zoom out again, genus sections, because I really like having kind of similar things in one spot. It makes me feel nice and organized. So that's kind of my collection here. That's kind of what we're working with. This is who we're all moving around. So I'm going to set the camera back up in the tripod and show you the shelves, and then I'm going to move into some time lapse of moving all the plants out, moving the shelf out, and building everything. So you can kind of watch the fun little speed up as well. Oh, over here, what have we got as well? We've got these. This is a newer one. It's beautiful. It's about to get a new leaf. This survived Spider Mite saga of 2020 and 2021, but it has got some leaf damage on the back, which is a bit sad. I think this is probably, yeah, look at that. So it's really damaged on the back, but thankfully you can't tell from the front, and she still looks beautiful and happy, and surprisingly hasn't gone dormant yet, even though it's starting to get cold. So I keep waiting for leaves to like start dying off, but that is actually a new leaf in here. And no leaves died off to compensate for the new leaf. So she must be happy there. So I want to kind of keep her on this wall because she must be happy. All these begonias here, I want to move onto one shelf. So all these polka dots, there's a couple of different polka dot varieties here. I want to put them all in the same section. She's going to go on her own shelf as well. And then these micans will need to be repot, and the water needs changing. It's gone so grillurky, but also the root growth is going really well. So they'll need to come out of there and be repot. So I think that's everyone. Yeah, that's coming. Little Tradescantia, little whatever that one is. Pretty one. And then another little Tradescantia as well, which is just dying for the sunlight here and keeps like having to be spun every now and then, but it's getting by. Anyway, so let's turn this around and get into it. So there's one thing I want to show you because it happens to all of us. If you watched my calathea spider mite video, you will see that this is the calathea graveyard. So some of them I managed to get to bounce back, which are in the shelf over there. at the moment. However, these are the ones that I left here and I watered and I finger crossed and I did everything I could and I spoke to them and I sang to them and I told them they were pretty and they never came back. So unfortunately, that was my royal standard medallion, I think, and I don't even remember what else died. But I just wanted to show you that it happens to all of us and that this bottom shelf was the sad little calathea graveyard with my hopes and prayers and hoping it would come back to life, and they never, ever, ever did. So let's get back to the time lapse. So apparently I'm missing a piece. I don't know which one. I don't know how I lost one of these clips. So I'm just gonna stop filming for a bit while I look for it. I must have dropped it, and because I got headphones in, I didn't hear it, maybe? And of course it's like the last shelf, the last clip, and Murphy's Law. So I'm gonna pause and hopefully come back with another clip. So I really cannot find the other one of these, and now I'm wondering if maybe I didn't have it. I didn't count them when I got them out of the box, so I'm gonna just kind of wedge it under and hope that it just sits okay. And then as I go about the rest of the day, fingers crossed the other piece shows up. So let's get back into some time lapse, I guess. Alright, so after lots of procrastinating over where my plants were going to go, congratulations if you're still watching. I have them up and I will probably play with the order of the plants another 5 or 6 times, to be honest. So I'm gonna get the camera off the tripod in a second and kind of take you around what the new space is looking like and where I've got things for now. And I have so much more room. It's pretty wild how much room is happening around here. But hey, I'm not complaining. More plants. Also, I do have to move quite a few of the plants that are in my toilet room out here in winter because they're just not going to be able to handle the cold of that space because it gets really, really cold down that end of the house because it does. And some of them are plants that are not going to do really well in that space. So the extra area that's currently on these shelves is going to get filled with my toilet room plants until it starts to warm up again and I can move everyone back. It's kind of getting to that time of year where we're all going to have to huddle in the one room. So that's just what it has to be when you live in a cold city and you like tropical plants. It's just what it is. Alright, so I'm going to get back into handheld and show you where everyone is now and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to have to play with the light and the focus a bit as we go because unfortunately with the window outside there, it does not like to film the plants. So now I have split the calatheas and prayer plants from 2 shelves to 3 shelves so that they've got a little bit more kind of space between each plant and they're all sort of got a little bit more room to grow. This top shelf is one of the main, except for this beautiful lush one here, is one of the main shelves of recoveries from the spider mite saga. And then I have a whole bunch here that are, some of them are recoveries. So the ones that are, 1 leaf per pot or 2 leaves per pot. This one up the back here, that is just one little tiny sprout. They're all more of them. And then we've got another shelf of prayer plants and calatheas down the bottom here. As you can see with these wire shelves, you can see straight through, so I don't have to bend over very much, and I can see kind of every plant from the top as I want, and I've got 2 rows of everybody sitting comfortably. In this corner, we have my little collection of some rares at the moment. So my beautiful new albo, we've got anthurium crystallinum, hybrid of some kind. We've got Sarah Blue. I've got a No ID Maranta, which I'm hoping will bounce back. It wasn't really great before. Monstera can't pronounce it. I can usually say it. I don't know what's going on with me today. I recently did my Hoya Kerry with a little heart wire, so that's looking really cute at the moment. It's really hard to get the light. And now it's just decided outside is more important. It's not though. There we go. What else have we got hiding around here? On the top shelf, I moved some of my other Hoyas that are in leca up there, so they're not getting direct sunlight anymore. Because on the lower shelf, they were getting some direct sunbeams, which with the open glass and the leca can lead to some algae. We've got my string of hearts here, which is nice and long. It goes nearly all the way down now. Where does it stop? There. So it's got quite a while, well, not long until it hits the ground actually, and then I'll have to chop and prop. Got another string of hearts up here, one of the few hanging pots left. Scandens, peperomia, Dushidia, watermelon, which it's not focusing very well on. Please look at the Dushidia, it's so cute. Damn windows. So good for the plants, not so good for the filming. I've put the 2 purple plants next to each other. So I've got the Oxalaxis triangularis and we've got the dark form Tritoscantia. So it's kind of the purple corner. And once I water the purple velvet plant, it's going to go back here too. I've got my 2 watermelon peperomias next to each other. So that's the red watermelon and the regular watermelon. Few syngonium in the corner. It wasn't practical to have all the syngonium on one shelf, so down here I've got the confetti syngonium, because from up here you can actually see the beautiful markings. When it's against the window, I can't see the markings very well. And then next to it, we've got the elbow syngonium. And then in this corner, I've got my 2 Addisonais and my pink princess. So just zoom out again a bit. Right out, please. So now this is the new shelf. Right next to the other shelf, I do want to add one more, if I can get hold of another shelf on this side, just so that it's a little bit more even, or maybe move that top one just down a little bit. I'm not sure yet. So now I have this beautiful matching shelf space. I'm just going to move backwards. Hey there, Editing Empress here. Apparently, I didn't hit record on a little section of video, so I will now insert some photos of what I was talking about. I literally just took a big step back and showed you the whole lot of what the shelves look like side by side. Wasn't that exciting, but I realized that I can't cut it together without it looking weird, so here I am explaining why it's cutting together and looking weird. So here's some photos of the space, and then I'll say goodbye. Thank you for watching my little redo of space slash mini houseplant tour slash rambling video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe, and you can go check out my Instagram or my Facebook or all of my other things that I do. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and keep growing like your plants. Bye.